okay, here's the situation. The Currys are coming, and we want to make sure you guys know that this is part 2 of the episode of you marry folks for their strengths, but you also marry them for their ... What's this episode?
So this episode is, you don't just marry them for their strengths, but you also marry their trauma.
Their past trauma. Can we give a definition of past trauma? Like, what does that mean in your words as a kind of a trauma expert, really?
Well, trauma is something that affects everybody differently, right? What's traumatic to me may not be traumatic to him. And so being sensitive, right, to people's experiences is important, right? Is important. And so past trauma could be anything, but it's definitely, an incident or a situation that has happened to you that has truly turned your life around, right? It's a incident that is uncontrolled, right? You had no control over it, and it is something that truly can change your life. It can change your thought process. It could change how you perceive things. It could change how you even respond and feel things. But it's usually some type of incident that has that was out of your control, that happened to you, that truly changed your life.
So let me hit you guys with a personal experience that I had in the courting of my wife. This was it's 4 years ago almost, right? I was able to, in one of my programs that I teach in parenting, I took the ACE test with my group of men that I was teaching, and it was profound to me. In this episode, I'm going to put the site for the ACE study so that folks have an opportunity to take it themselves. Let me explain to you what it is. It's trauma that you experience prior to being 18 years old or 18 years and younger, right? Such as divorce, someone physically abusing you, someone seeing someone being physically abused in the home, seeing someone imprisoned also, right? So these traumatic events that happened, if you've ever felt neglect as a child. So these are wonderful questions that they ask you, and it's prior to you being 18 years old, and they actually give you a score. And I was surprised by my score, right? But it was good. It was a good find in terms of what I experienced so that I would be aware of it and I wouldn't bring it to the table in my marriage, right? Because when you get married, you it's like sitting at a table and everybody has something to bring, right? You have your plate, you have your saucer, you have your cup. Hopefully your cup spilleth over. We talked about that. But you have stuff that you have prior, right? That fed you and made you who you are today. And you bring that to the table when you get married. And those traumatic things, I think that they really should be talked about to some extent. Like, if everyone takes the test and you talk about it and you're like, wow, then you understand why you react and why you are triggered in certain situations, right? The feeling of abandonment, for example, right? How you argue, right? All these things become pertinent. There was an episode and one of my friends said, hey, you know what? I've been married for quite some time, eight years plus, and I still find myself isolating, right? That's based on your past experience. But we want to do better because we know better. And that's why we're creating these episodes for folks.
Yeah, ACE is, because I don't think we gave you the acronym, right? ACES.
ACE.
But it is adverse childhood experiences, right? And so these are experiences adverse, not just regular childhood experience, but adverse experiences that you have had as a child. And then, like my husband said, marriage doesn't just cover up your stuff. It exposes it.
Absolutely.
Right? And so if you have not healed, if you have not kind of did like a deeper dive into your stuff,
yeah,
it's gonna come out, and it could be harmful. It could be damaging to your marriage, right? And if you're not talking about it, and if you just don't even acknowledge that you have trauma, and it's not just acknowledging and saying, yeah, I have trauma, but it's also wanting to take a step further and healing from the trauma, and doing the work, the inner work that you need to do in regards to that. We are believers, and we believe that prayer is important. And so even praying about your trauma, you can pray and ask God to, show me the stuff that I've been through that's affecting me now, right? Because your trauma will come out.
It will come out.
How you respond, it'll come out when, we talked about the triggers, right? In the last episode, your triggers are connected to your trauma, right? So a lot of times, if you feel activated, triggered, then your trauma is going to speak through that. And so the trigger and the trauma, they're actually good friends, right? They're good friends. And so you're going to respond out of this trauma place. You could even connect to somebody or connect to a way of life, right? Or a lifestyle or a set of people, and it could be a trauma bond, right? It could be something that you've bonded to while you were in this place of trauma. And now that has become your survival skill. That has become something that you stick with, right?
Absolutely.
You hold on to that.
Absolutely.
Because it feels like a safe place to you, right? But when you have healed and you are doing better, as my husband says, when you know better and you do better, you don't still need that because you're in a different place right now. But you'll have to work through that that part of you that feels like it still needs to be connected, right?
Let me give you this example. Because a lot of us are in situations where we're trying to mend old wounds when you're married. And some wounds can't be mended if they're not acknowledged, right? So for folks who, for example, when you take the ACE study, and if you experience divorce or separation growing up, it's just hypothetical, and your spouse, in an argument, in a confrontation, decides to leave, I'm just gonna go for a walk, you say. The spouse that had the trauma, abandonment is gonna come to the surface. When you start and when you start thinking about crazy things like, oh, I don't want to be with this person and this is too much and it's too stressful, all of that stuff bubbles up because of past trauma, right? Because now you're feeling that feeling of abandonment again because they walked away in the middle of a heartfelt, emotional episode or situation. Just to give you an example of how it can affect your marriage. We want a marriage to be beautiful. When you think about it, it's double rainbow, right? We understand that folks are going to go through things, but this makes us hypersensitive to the ones that we love, right? So I'm less likely to walk out, but stay and work it out.
And that's why it's important that we talk about these things, and that you know yourself. I'm going to always say that. I probably said it before, and I'm probably going to say it again, but you have to know yourself. Know the things that have traumatized you. Know the things that trigger you. Know the things that activate you. Know the things that make you upset. Know them about yourself.
Yeah.
Because when someone does trigger you, it's not them attacking you. It's something in you that just got activated.
Absolutely.
So you can't blame that person because it happened in you.
Absolutely.
But when you know yourself and you know that that's what happens, then you can work towards healing that place. That place just got activated. That place just got triggered.
Yeah.
Because it's telling you, this is the open wound that I need you to heal.
It's the open wound. That's a great one. Yeah.
It's the open wound that I need you to heal. This is your body talking to you. I need you to heal this open wound because look how it makes you feel. Look how it made you respond. Right? Look how it made you look at it, because it will pervert the way you see things.
Right.
Right? And I tell people pervert or perversion isn't always sexual. Pervert means to twist. Right? And so it will pervert how you perceive things.
Yeah.
How you see things. So, and all of this will create arguments. It will create tension. It will create
anxiety.
And discord in your marriage. And
it doesn't need to be there.
Yeah, and the enemy loves it. The enemy loves discord. He loves when you all are arguing. He loves when you're not getting along. He loves when you're not talking, because it's in those moments, in those spaces, that he can get in and start creating a different picture in your mind, a picture that's not true, right? Like a lot of times I've told folks when I'm, doing different coaching sessions, right? If you keep playing that tape over and over in your mind, or that situation over and over in your mind, it's going to work you up. Stop the tape. You have the ability to stop the tape. You have the ability to stop however you're responding and feeling, and say, because it's your body saying, I need to be healed here.
Yeah. Let's go a second step. Let's take it a second step. Give them the information for anyone who would like to be coached. This is the time, guys.
Yeah.
And we're here for you, man. Yeah. So
I also have a life coaching and consulting business, and you can find us at Just Wanna Live Right, JWLR at gmail.com. So it's Just Wanna Live Right at gmail.com. JUSTWANNALIVERIGHT.
We are here to support you in your union, your coupling, your marriage, your togetherness. Yeah. So curries are coming, and what are we coming for?
Before we're coming, right? I just want to go one step back, right? And I just want to follow up and say, as you're, if this is really touching you and it's really making you think about the areas that need healing, right? Life coaching, yes. If there's a therapist that you think you need to see to walk you through, now that's something that I would do. If we meet and we have a consultation and I feel like, girl or son, this is deeper, then therapy is the next place to go. But I say that to say, if you are responding through your trauma, you need to be healed.
Absolutely.
Right? And as a woman of God, as a pastor also, you need to be healed. Right? You need your old open wounds to be closed so God can heal you and he can strengthen you. And so that when he heals you and strengthens you, then that allows your marriage to be stronger. And it allows your marriage to be a more loving and peaceful, right? And productive, because you're in a different place, because you're perceiving things differently. You're responding differently. It's going to help your whole entire life. So be healed. When you react, it's your open wound saying to you, I want to be healed in this area.
And this is once again the worst, right? It's not really that worst, but this is the worst that they say in the marriage. Not for better or for worse. These are the things we need to uncover so that we can move forward. So yes, without delay.
Yeah.
We're here for you.
Right. And so the curries are coming.
We're coming.
And we're coming for your marriage. We're coming for your parenting. We're coming for your relationships. And we're coming for your soul care.
Oh, we're coming for your soul care.
Right. Because we want God to be the center of every single thing that you do. So take care of yourself. We hope this was helpful. And respond. Give us some, we'll talk back to you in the comments. But there will be another part because there's more. You didn't just marry them for their strength. There's some other things that you married to. Yeah. So have a good one. Be easy.
Peace.